thing and lie about it. Our own government.
Your own government lies as a matter of course, as a matter of policy. The Tuskegee experiments on black men in the 30s, Henrietta Lacks.
What are they trying to do?
That's the missing piece.
But it's not hard to imagine a government hiding, hoarding technology for 70 years at the expense of human life and the future of the planet. Driven not only by corporate greed, but a darker objective.
The takeover of America.
And then the world itself, by any means necessary, however violent, or cruel, or efficient. By severe drought, brought on by weather wars, conducted secretly using aerial contaminants and high-altitude electromagnetic waves. In a state of perpetual war. To create problem, reaction, solution scenarios to distract, enrage, and enslave American citizens at home. With tools like the Patriot Act and the National Defense Authorization Act, which abridge the Constitution in the name of national security. The militarization of police forces in cities across the U.S., the building of prison camps by the Federal Emergency Management Agency with no stated purpose. The corporate takeover of food and agriculture, pharmaceuticals and healthcare, even the military in clandestine agendas to fatten, dull, sicken, and control a populace already consumed by consumerism.
And I encourage you all to go shopping more.
A government that taps your phone, collects your data, and monitors your whereabouts with impunity. A government preparing to use that data against you when it strikes. And the final takeover begins.
The takeover of America.
By a well-oiled and well-armed multinational group of elites that will cull, kill, and subjugate.
Happening as we sit here.
It's happening all around us.
The other shoe waiting to drop.
It'll probably start on a Friday. The banks will announce a security action necessitating their computers to go offline all weekend.
Digital money will disappear.
They can just steal your money?
Followed by the detonation of strategic electromagnetic pulse bombs to knock out major grids.
What will seem like an attack on America by terrorists or Russia.
An invasion of the U.S.
You used my flu. You desecrated all of my work. You disrespected science. What the hell did you put in that vaccine?
The Pfizer vaccine is contaminated with plasmid DNA. It's not just mRNA. It's got bits of DNA in it.
He created a flu that sparked the demand for a vaccine that doesn't work. After everyone in the country is vaccinated.
And the world?
Normalcy only returns when we've largely vaccinated the entire global population.
How much evil do you have to do good?
This DNA can and likely will integrate into the genomic DNA of cells that got transfected with the vaccine mix.
I knew it. I knew it.
He created a panic, and now everybody's begging for the vaccine.
No. Demanding it with all the entitlement of a first world country.
A majority of Americans expect a vaccine to be available within 2 months, and 65% of those polled are eager to take the vaccine, even if it's experimental.
Yes. And now we have exactly what we want. Hundreds of millions of Americans lining up, offering us their arms, and letting us give them our creation.
I'm pretty sure when every vaccinated person starts dying, they'll trace it back to undetectable virus or not.
Tell me this. What have you done today to earn your place in this crowded world? Exactly. Everything I do is a cure for our current situation. We intend to stop human reproduction for 3 generations.
So remember that medicine that many people were supposed to take, were obliged to take, mandated to take, or else they'd lose their jobs? You know the medicine I'm talking about. Something horrifying is happening. More people are dying, and fewer children are being born.
The busy, endless global assembly line of babies will grind to a halt.
You're sterilizing people?
Uh-huh. In the first 5 years, we'll start to see major birth rate declines as teenagers vaccinated today hit their childbearing years.
Australia's fertility rate is near historic lows and falling fast. The number of babies per woman is generally 2.1 just for a stable population, but Australia is currently 1.7, similar in most developed nations, and in South Korea a mere 0.8. Globally, it's 2.3, falling from 5.3 country in 1963.
You're controlling the future of human civilization.
Is that what they're calling it? It's a very nice euphemism for a species that has replicated like a contagion across the planet, killing all other species in its wake.
You hate people that much?
On the contrary, I love people.
Then how? Why would
Doing what our government or citizenry is too spoiled or self-indulgent to do. We are saving ourselves from ourselves.
halting overpopulation?
The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
100 years ago, the global population was 1.7 billion. 2011, it reached
7 billion.
Here we can see a chart that looks at the total world population over the last several hundred years. And at first glance, this is a bit scary.
People live too long, die less often, too much, help babies like...
In 2050, they say it's going to plateau.
We'll blow past 11 billion and then slowly begin to decline.
But by then, it'll be too late to save an Earth that bears any resemblance to a world we actually want to live in. I love this planet, so I decided to take care of the problem. Global warming, mass extinctions, food, water shortages. All these problems can be boiled down to one thing: overpopulation.
What do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population.
At 1.7 billion, we can be as decadent, self-indulgent as we want. At 10 billion, we have to live strategically. We have to live modestly. We have to live selflessly. And as you know, we're not that good at it. If we don't do something now, right now, in a decade, our world will experience extraordinary privations. The war of all against all.
Water. We'll go to war over water, and the people who will die first are the ones without power and money.
The negative impact of population growth on all of our planetary ecosystems is becoming appallingly evident.
You can't just decide people won't have babies because...
I can, and I did. Think of me as the stern parent who tells the children they can't play with the family gun.
What about what this does to people's society?
Salvation. We can form a new society.
Home.
Mm-hmm. The grand social experiment. Do you want to know what happens next?
Now, they can't release a bioweapon that kills everybody right away. That would make reactors melt down and huge wars. Everybody would go crazy. No. It's got to be very slow. So it kills a bunch of people, but it mainly sterilizes folks.
Doctors believe vaccine hesitancy brought on by the pandemic is a contributing factor.
On Transgender Day of Remembrance,
he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
Let's free the Patriots and defeat the globalist tech geeks.
You will join the Matrix.
The white, transmasculine, femme, non-binary, disabled, neurodivergent, obsessive, compulsive, chronically ill, Unitarian Universalist.
This is some really tough news. For the first time in the history of our poll, Trump is beating President Biden in a head-to-head matchup.
And I love your ears. I love them. They're really cool. What's your name?